This video will demonstrate how to access and configure GTA's SSL Sentinel Browser. Once logged into your firewall, go to VPN, SSL Sentinel Browser. You'll need to enable the SSL Sentinel's alternate port. You'll need to remember this port number, 1443, because that's the one you're going to access it later if you change. Other options include setting your encryption, timeout for sessions, which is how long a session will remain idle before someone's logged out, require the use of a virtual keyboard, whether we use authentication services such as LDAP or Radius. In addition, we have the automatic policies, which determine where and what interface someone may connect to the SSL Sentinel browser. Furthermore, we have a customizable portal. Let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to put our customize information here. And you can know we also have a logo that you can upload to the firewall. And many times corporations will require users to accept a disclaimer. Once you have the SSL Sentinel browser configured, go ahead and save. This will start the service. Next, before we configure our groups and our users, we're going to create a couple bookmarks for ease of use. Basically, bookmarks are quick links for users, so they don't have to remember where they need to access something. We're going to call this one Staff, and we're going to give it a label Staff, and we're going to say this one's going to be email, and we're going to put in a link to our Exchange server, okay, which is one of the most common links that people see. Okay, so we have our link. We also want to set our type as HTTP because that's where we're going to go to. We're also going to allow access to, say, another staff site internally. So let's go ahead and put staff, and we'll say HTTP as well, and we're going to set this as just a browser. Okay, you notice we do have multiple options for CFS or shares, FTP, FTPS, or HTTPS. Okay, we're good there. Let's go ahead and save that. Now, we have the SSL Sentinel browser enabled, a bookmark created. Let's go create a group. Basically, all SSL Sentinel browser access is based on a group. We're going to call this SSL. For our group, we don't need it to be an administrator group, but we do want to enable the SSL Sentinel browser. We could do bookmarks only, but we're going to allow other access. The recommended is to use only bookmarks, but we'll do this for a demonstration purpose. In this demonstration, we're not going to do the client. Okay, we've got our configured. We have our bookmark selected. Let's click OK, and always remember to save. Now, I said before, we can use LDAP or Radius to access the system, but I'm going to just create a user on the firewall. We're going to call him Joe. All right, Joe Tech. And we're going to make him a member of the group we just created, SSL. Now, we're going to go ahead and generate Joe a certificate here automatically when we insert his user. That way, in case we decide to give him a client later, Joe will already have a certificate created. Go ahead and click OK and save. So now we have Joe created, and we've saved it. So what we need to now do is access the firewall. Okay, like I said before, you'll need to remember that port. The default port is 1443. So what I'm going to go ahead and log in here with Joe, and we'll click on our virtual keyboard. If you watch closely, you might be able to figure out what password I'm using. Okay, now we see our disclaimer. Accept me, please. Well, of course I'll accept you. Okay, now you notice right here we only see staff. It actually obscures the connection. Let's go ahead and click on our Exchange. And we're logged into Exchange already. I've been here previously, therefore it's got my credentials remembered. We'll go back to Home, and we can actually access the staff site. We have a little navigation toolbar here that's available for users. Allows you to move it around and, of course, go back home. And if you wished to, you can actually enter the browser directly. Now, the recommended way to use this is to allow only bookmarks and restrict browsing access to administrators, because it's a very powerful tool and should only be allowed for administrators. Another thing we may want to mention as we look at the firewall is sessions. When someone's logged into the firewall, you can see who is logged in. Now, if you notice here, I have my user Joe. He's in the SSL group. He's logged in from this IP. Type browser, and he has browse and read-only access to the system. And he's been on for 1 minute. While you can see my other login of the firewall administrator, who's in the administrator group. And that concludes it. We'll go ahead and log out here.